Part two of where you are in your progress as well. Like I told you, like when I trained by myself for a very long time, and before going to the big guys room, I was always in the smaller room, like with the girls, and I was very form like oriented, everything overthinking form. When I met him, I was still at 25 on each side of my squat and still at 45 plates on my leg press. 5 years into like training, you know, but my form was like, he's like, okay, but now it's time, you know. And I had never really trained with anybody. Not to push me, but like I guess to open my mind, you know, like you're coming back from like straight strength lifting, you know.
Lifting. I mean, mine was very much the same. Yeah, it was. I mean, I just used to love lifting heavy. I don't know if you were ever like that either. Like you would just do like
now, yes, but
5-6 reps, just put on as much as you can and like lift. Like one of our first workouts.
I know.
We got off a plane, or I got off the plane from the UK, and we were like, let's just do a really, really heavy workout. We were like 5 plates aside on the leg press. Like we just went for it. Which
Who are we?
I know.
Who are we?
It's fun though, but I think sometimes there's a time and a place for it, for sure.
Yeah, but I was like very anal with my form. I was like,
would you just stop it if you feel like your form is off? Because now, for example, we did one and I was like, no, I feel it in my lower back, I don't want to continue. But now I'm so close to a show, so that's why I can't continue. Otherwise I would maybe just get aside. Yeah, maybe just pause for a while and then come back and do it. Or I just change up like to another machine, because I would not do it like if I feel it. No, if I feel it in the lower back, I will get the pump and it will destroy the whole working out. Like it's not worth it.
It's not, I mean, it also depends like what you're trying to target. You know, if it's very specific, but you're never gonna see me stop at a squat because I feel in my quads. I'm like, okay, push through. You know, like I don't.
That's a part of the challenge of being a lifter and an athlete.
Yeah.
Challenge, like, that's the mental challenge and barrier that that a lot of people need to break, as whether they're a bikini, like any type of athlete. If they feel that, then it's like, that doesn't mean it's over. That means you need to check yourself, or you need to like recomp something in your execution or decrease the weight, because that all goes back to pointing the finger at that specific individual. And then instead of blaming the coach or blaming the teammates or blaming like the machine, stuff like that, and then take accountability as an individual or as an athlete, and then understanding that that athlete needs to be specific with their goal and be attentive throughout the whole entire rep, especially when it becomes like very challenging and you start getting tired. When you're on stage and you're getting tired, the judges don't care.
But yeah, it's very nice to be able to just fucking just do hard workout without thinking. But yeah.
So like I spent like 6 months not
training it. Yeah.
Bro, like that was the worst for my shape.
That's what I'm saying. It's good now that you realise. Like, before, like you don't, like you were saying before, just don't just stop because you don't feel it in something. Like try and figure out why you don't feel it in something. And that's what I think it's good with Aldo. He really makes you think about these specific, small little specifics about each like individual fiber. Do you know what I mean? Like really squeezing the specifics. Because yesterday when I did the glute workout, I was like, some exercises I'm like, I think I'm gonna feel this in quads, I'll feel this in lower back, and I'm nothing. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So, because he really makes you think.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's like from the inside out, right? It's like, okay, contract the muscle. It's a contraction. I don't care about the range of motion. With her, I was like, babe, your range, contract, like find it. She's like, okay, I can see it, because obviously she's seeing. And then I'm like, just use that to finish a movement, but then that's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about the range, it's about the contraction.
That's cool. You kept on saying, and that really clicked, to be fair, when you
did.
said it's
Especially
not
with
about the range. Because a lot of
muscle.
people do focus on just the range versus the contraction, and that's me. Like I focus on just the entire range. I need to go all the way range. I'm like, the range of motion is the main thing, and I'm like, no, the contraction is duh. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So I'm like, I felt like he was obviously hip thrust. I was like, this is like half a thrust, like what? But you feel it just as much. I was like, it makes sense.
Wow. Especially, you know, when he made you do the Bulgarian split squats too, he made you do the partial. He's like, especially us, advanced lifter, like if we do a general public Bulgarian split squat, what we're gonna hit is always gonna be what we're the strongest, right? So like if you overdevelop that, Bulgarian split squat is going to be all that. So why would you do the full range of motion when all you need is to connect right here? And then you can go into your full range and just connect differently. And now your shitty reps, all of the reps, the control reps, the meathead reps, they're all here. And what, like you can, it's crazy how you can just decide what you want, but you just need to spend a little bit more time into those like little annoying tweaks. Like, and I remember when
they're long though. That's the only thing. It's just because they're long. That's why it's like, oh, it's annoying to get. Yeah, it's annoying to get into. Yeah. But it's worth it.
It's worth it. Yeah, I mean, you know the exercise I made you do with the cable.
Yeah.
Joe Bennett told me that he's like, your rear delts are small. I'm like, my ego broken. He's like, you're gonna need to do a lot of like boring stuff. I'm like, I'm down for it just because you touched my ego, bro. I'm like, I will.
That needs to be fixed now.
Yeah. So now I'm doing it, and then I feel it in every my movement, you know. And once you get stronger, it's amazing what you can do, you know. And now I can lift the weight and feel confident with just being stronger and and not being like so restricted. Like, don't have a restricted mindset, you know. Open your mind.
Like a machine I never tried before, like a hip thrusty, like a back.
Yeah, backflip.
Yeah.
When you use that word, I was like, what do you mean? I was like, but it makes so much sense.
And my quads is so much stronger, and I'm not so balanced. So he was like, okay, where in the motion do you feel the quads? And I said, here, humble. Then we eliminate that and just take this range. And I was like, why haven't I thought?
It makes so much
Instead
sense.
of not doing it at all, just not do that little partial
for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's so weird. Yeah.
But I think you need, what I'm coming to is like the journey. You need to do the full reps. You need to like do all of it to then
realize.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's what I need. That's my imbalances. That's what I, you know, and kind of embrace it.
Now when you're like 9 weeks out, are you like
8.5?
8.5.
8.5, that's crazy. Yeah.
She's gonna be really early with this.
I feel like I'm gonna be early, but that's always okay-ish. I'm like, I like to be ready a bit early just so we can kind of play around with forms and stuff, but like
we're both heavier than we were, so I mean there's like no like real nerves yet. I think everything is like under control. You have your like
I think everything we've done this so many times. I think obviously it's just like,
I mean for her it's gonna be her first time in Orlando, so
I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it to be different, you know.
You're gonna be so well surrounded too. Like you're ready. You're gonna be like, your circle is already established. You know who's gonna come.
I'm excited.
You're gonna see it's so easy to get around. So easy. Yeah.
So you don't have to think. Just come and just enjoy.
That's it. And like it feels exciting. It's exciting. I think it's not like nervous. It's just you get all the feels. You know when you're just coming so close to the show, you're like, because you're like 5 days. You're a few days out. You're like, how are you at 8 weeks out? I'm like, you're a few days out. So no, I know. But yeah, it's like I don't think it's hit me yet. I think it hasn't hit me anyway because it's only my second, and yours is like.
It's only my sixth back to back.
I think too long away. It still feels ages for me, but I think for me 6 weeks out is where I
was going to say that's my mark. Like 6 weeks is like when you've been there for a while, but you know it's getting close. But oh my God, we just said that's crazy.
I know.
I mean, the fact that it's going to be in 2 weeks, like 6 weeks out, is wild to me. Wild.
It's exciting. We got our feedback at the same time. Well, because we were both backstage at finals and we both went up to the same time, and both of ours was like, too lean, more muscle, fullness,
the word,
like projection.
I was heavy. Like I got to the Arnold, and I made the changes. I was like 10 pounds heavier from the Olympia to the Arnold. Drastically, massively fucking changed. But I do want to get leaner and crispier. I just needed the break. I just needed the rest. Now I'm rested. We're gonna be like ready right on time, like right on the dot. I'm not gonna be ready early.
For you to be able to step on stage heavier, because for me it's like I don't feel ready. Because when you've seen yourself, I've been feeling how it feels to be crispier and like tighter, to now be heavier. Like mentally, it plays a toll on me a little bit.
I love it.
But it's just don't feel
Yeah.
I agree. You know what? Like I'm saying like no, but I remember I called you at the Arnold. I was like, shit, I don't think I can.
I remember that moment because I remember I watched the Arnold and I was like, girl, you've got this. Like, you're fine. You were like, it's not the same feeling. I was like, honestly, everything popped. Like, everything looked nice. I think for you, it was just more knowing you were a little bit heavier potentially. You were like, is it what they wanted? I don't know.
I mean, it's just, you get so tight and so lean and you see lines like, and I get, you know, people were walking in and it was like, are you competing? I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving, bro, I'm leaving in.
I'm going to stage in a few hours. Oh,
yeah. I'm
okay.
like, damn it, you know, and I think that's when it got inside my head. I was like, damn, but it's not their fault. Like they've seen me literally being so tiny and small, but that's not what they want. That's not what they want. And I remember Tyler was like, Lauralie, how do you even are able to do this? It's so crazy. Like your body like changes and
so much.
Yeah, but Kim is so good with nutrition, girl. Oh my god, it's so good.
I think that's good. It's good that you now have gotten that feedback. So right after the Olympia, it was like, okay, fullness, need more fullness. Did the Arnold, you got the fullness, you won. Like,
but
now you're like doing that exactly the same and just a little bit crispier.
So that's where I am. I'm like at peace because even if I was to not really do any improvement from the Arnold, because I'm also realistic, you know, I had 4 months of season. It's like, what can you really do? I needed to rest. I needed to take time off from the gym for the very first time in my life. I needed to like live because I wanted to, and that my goal change. Even if I was to bring the same package on improve from the Arnold, I would still be better because I'm rested and like I'm gonna be fresher.
Yeah.
That's why.
On stage, because you will come up with life, and other girls will see that too, and like that's how you should look like and feel like on stage. You should not be dead and like sucked in and like all those lines. Like we're showing a healthier look, and like a more look that's actually not that unhealthy. So I think it's very good that we're going towards that.
Oh my god, I was. I mean, I remember like when Etta came to me backstage, they were so kind of like worried that I would just, you know, we want to see you on stage. You know, we want to see you on stage. I'm like, I'll be back. Like it's no big deal. Like, you know, to me, the top 4 that you chose, like it inspires me so much because honestly, the Olympia was fucking deep hard. Like it was
58
just
girls last year. 58.
I mean, but also like just the conditioning that we brought was like it was so intense. Like everyone after the Olympia were like so drained because it was so much conditioning and just for a very long time, you know. So
exactly. Condition.
Like, no, you know what? I'm like, this is
good. It's good.
It's that's why I was so excited. You know?
I mean, if I'm honest, I'm kind of glad that was my feedback. That was our feedback and the standards, because at least they're pushing for no, we don't want it to be this. We don't need it to be this lean. You don't need to be this lean, and it's good. I think some people are like, oh, I want to get leaner, and I'm like, I personally prefer it fuller, showing off your femininity and all that type of thing. I don't know. I think it's good,
girl. So. The last, I want to say 2 weeks and a half, and maybe 3. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. I was like, I can't. Like, I can't. My neck, oh my God, it was just so much, you know? And you just, But no, I'm excited.
It's good. I think it's good now that we've kind of gone, well, at least again, like you were talking about before, you go through it, realize, okay, these are the mistakes, and then we go through them and stuff. So I think,
That's why I love, like people are always asking me like, why do I do so many shows while I'm on prep, and like because I want to learn. Every show have been different, every physique I brought to every stage have been different, so that's like you have to learn. But mentally it's definitely hard because you're like used to like, oh, prep should be hard, or prep should feel like this or look like this. And you have to change. That's like mentally to be prepared to maybe go from one show to another. Like 1 year even, it's not a long time to change your mindset. So it's like
that's what I told you when you got here. You were like, I don't know who's showing up. I'm like, but who cares? Who cares? You're showing up. Like that's the only thing you should worry about. Like honestly, that has been the biggest mind switch. You know,
this little of control ever. Like I know nothing. I know one girl that have texted me on Instagram like we're doing the same show. Otherwise than that, I know nothing. Like I don't even know how the venue looks like. I don't even know how the registration, how many judges, what type of athletes, how they look like, how lean they used to, how they pose. Like I know nothing. So this is so interesting.
I feel like it's in my opinion, like now for me that's better because the less information I have, the better because I don't go into my own head and like go down like a rabbit hole. Yeah, rabbit hole, being like, you know, I need this because I think more that our motto we always say is like just don't think, just do. Like just do what you here to do what you here came for, and then that's it. Yeah, exactly.
How do they pose? How do they look like? Should I be looking more like them?
Yeah, because the judges only care what you want, like what you look like on stage. They'll be looking at you. Like they're obviously going to be looking at others, but you can't control what they do. They can't control what they pose like, what they come up looking like. So then you don't change your environment to like fit their standards because the judges want you to look a certain way. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
you should want to look your way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like how do I want to show up, and just create that, and just create that bubble around you, and just don't let anyone break that, because you're like, that's my show.
Yeah.
You walk in, that's my show. That's my routine. That's my physique. That's what I'm bringing. That's the best I've done for that's it. Period.
I'm always trying to be in my bubble. Like when I'm stepping on stage, I don't see anyone on stage.
Yeah.
Like I don't see like how many girls we were. I didn't see what color they had on their bikini. I didn't see anyone except me and the judges. Like maybe Mike, I see somewhere.
Yeah,
maybe. Like that's all.
Always at the half.
A little bit you see somewhere, but no, nothing. Like otherwise I'm totally in my bubble. But I think it's the preparation before that.
Yeah. Take that mindset you have on stage and try and put that for when you're on stage. Yeah, for before. Yeah, 100%. Because like you said, you're in your own world on stage. Take that in prep, because that will help you so much. Because honestly, I think when I started to everyone does it though. Everyone like has a little look on Instagram, like, oh, who am I against? Or like, but I used to do that. Now I just mentally, it's too exhausting. It's too exhausting, and it's not worth my time to.
So you know your capacity, Toad. You know. I think the Olympia prep was such a good knowledge for both of us. Like once you know your capacity, damn.
It's like last year when we were competing, it was she was a little bit smaller than all the other girls in wellness, because wellness is kind of a new category. So,
yes.
So that all the way like up to the world championship, when she won the world championship, like one of the judges stood up and said, "She's body fitness."
No way.
That's like, but the thing is that she kind of set the standard for what the IFBB version of wellness should be. So that's kind of cool. Like right now, like everything is starting to change. So when she just brought her own game, because like a lot of those girls, like Eastern European girls, they were huge.
They're just massive. You think like. The fun part was like other girls came to me and like texted me afterwards and like, thank you that you won, because that look is more healthier and like inspirational. It's something I can reach to. Otherwise, like they see these girls like that they are huge and they're like, I can't go over there. Like I don't want to go over there, but I want to step on stage and be wellness. But I'm afraid I can't do that. So I'm happy the judges like put me like as the winner. Yeah, because then I show the standard for that the wellness shouldn't be like that big and massive. Like it's not. You can do this. Like
or at least you don't have to be. You know, if you are and you decide to, okay, and you might be rewarded depending on like your entire physique. But at the end of the day, like you can still win. It reminds me of Riani, which is like 3 times the amount of like Andrea. Like she just started, you know, the little competitor. She's super young, but just proportion wise how she presents herself, it's because
it's not just like wellness. Yes, is like it's an imbalance in the lower body, but it's not just okay, it needs to be huge. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like okay, we're all legs. It's like no, you still have to have an upper body, and you still have to have some sort of like like everything towards it. So I think that's that must be hard as well. I get that.
Yeah.
That's good.
The
It's
size
good that
game, the size game. Can you imagine? Like we don't have to worry about any weight cap or even the size. Like not real. Like you know.
Yeah. There's no.
But
size.
there's a size game. You know, it's like a different.
That's tough. But I think it's good that, like you said, you're setting the standard, which is so cool. And that's then something you should like believe in as well, because like you're the standard of it. You know, like embrace it and like live that and like be proud of it, because like that's incredible.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
But yeah, we don't have we really want to improve something.
Yeah.
So, and that's the fun with this game, that you always can improve everything, like something, like
And you are.
It's so fun,
because you
yeah.
keep showing up. You know.
Yeah. So fun. Oh, you girls are so inspiring. My fingers crossed for you.
Yes. We have our fingers crossed for you as well. A few days out.
Yeah.
That's super exciting. Where is it? In is it in Miami?
Downtown. Yeah.
Downtown.
And then visit downtown.
No, yeah, we're going on a tour bus today. Like,
Yes.
hop on.
Stop.
Oh my god, I love that.
Oh my god, you guys need to record all this. This is so
That's so
amazing.
fun. That's
babe.
so fun.
I
Yeah.
love that we have everything on film and tape. Like we can watch back this and like in the future and like just remember it.
I love that so much. It's so fun. That's a lot of fun.
That's so cool.
Oh, I love that.